Good afternoon, Black women. Happy Sunday. I hope yours is as relaxing as mine is. Today is a really beautiful day in New York City. It's like 70 degrees here today. I said like. That's why I still have on my jacket, right? But it's nice. So I decided to, let me show y'all, come out, sit in the field, right? And I have my umbrella chair with me just in case the sun gets crazy. And I have my shades to keep my face from being fried by the sun because, yes, Black people burn too. But, oh, sorry. I stabbed myself in the head with the, the eyeglass arm. It's just that every now and then I put the shades on because I don't want it to burn. It always burns my cheeks, like right here. So, but anyway, I came to talk to you guys today about Black women and this whole, let me put y'all in between my legs for a minute. Black women and this whole 4B movement, the needed unity of Black women on a whole, right? And how things are like really falling apart for one thing for us, and that is the lack of unity and the lack of understanding that we as Black women, we need a movement of our own. Now, I don't know if you guys have been noticing lately, but that 4B movement headed up by that woman supreme is not going well. I stop in every now and then on the different lives because this woman has so many lives. It's crazy. And it is because, once again, you have another Black woman more interested in views and notoriety and exploiting women by trying to make as much money off of them as possible, instead of actually getting Black women to do the work to understand that we as a group of women, we have to come together solely for ourselves, right? Ourselves alone. We can't be out here thinking that white women and other women or LGBT or gay women and Black women that care about everybody else but Black women, grifters like Verve and Bougie and all the rest of these people who are hypocrites. Like, you can't really be out here claiming that you're for the betterment of Black women when you're married to a Black man, you have entanglements with Black men, and you still really do sleep with desire, and you're with Black men. Like, that is the biggest level of hypocrisy known to man. And so the other thing Black women have to understand is that real girls or real women for Black women like myself, we don't have those issues. And the most important thing about real women that are really for other Black women is that we're not liked. We're not the favorites. We're not the most popular. And there's a reason for that. The reason is because we bring to you the uncomfortable truth. We tell you things you don't want to hear. And we expect you to do things that you don't want to do. Because we can see not only the foreshadowing, but the past shadowing of everything and how it culminates and comes together. And I'm not here about bashing you. That's not what my intention is. And when you think about, in all honesty, all the women that have been here for you, really been trying to say that they're for your progression and future, whatever it is they feel like they want you to accomplish in the future, it always comes back to them. Their main first level is bashing Black women and pretty much doubling down on all the bad talking points that Black males have already programmed the society to think about us with, right? So you have them trying to blame us for everything in the world and the condition of the communities we live in. And we do play a part in that. And the part we play in is this. When you have these boys and you don't raise them to be men, and you don't raise them to understand that black women are the women out of all women to be respected and to be loved, and to not listen to the degradation, the dehumanization, and the belittling and demeaning of black women by other black males, regardless of how much these young boys or sons want to have like a sense of belonging to these dudes or to these males, because that's natural. But what is also natural is explaining to them at a young age and actually showing them the lessons that happens when you idolize these black male dudes that do nothing but hate and commit hate speech on black women. It's kind of like you got to make them go through a rites of passage of understanding that these dudes are not the guys you want to grow up to be, but you pick other men and say like Sierra's husband, and you make that guy an example as to how and what a man is supposed to be, so that they don't think the dude on the corner is to be idolized, or their uncle that's selling drugs and going in and out of jail and that has everything fancy but has never graduated high school. That's my point in a nutshell, right? So then the second part is you have to work on yourself to get past all of the insecurities you have, like with worrying about competition of other women, or not being able to push yourself past your own limitations. Like, you need to stop drinking if that's your problem. Stop drugging if that's your problem. Stop feeling like you can't do things on your own unless you have some dude to help buffer you or support you, because you don't need him. Once you understand that when you're in school, you take your education seriously, right? You get your high school diploma, and then you go on to collegeboard.org, and you go into the FAFSA, FAFSA.gov, I believe it is, or com, check it out, either way. And you find out what all your options are to go away to college. Change your environment so that you understand that there are other ways to live in this world as a black woman. Learn to think outside of your comfort zone and actually elevate your intelligence. Elevate your intelligence. That's the way we get out of poverty. That's the way we understand when a woman like me, who's not liked by any other YouTuber or subscribers, basically because I stand down for the long-term fight. I stand down for what is actually right. I am not here for black women who are single mothers and they're feeling sorry for themselves, or they want to pretend that their situation is not that bad because the person they're with is so amazing, when we know that's not true, right? I had to do that because I didn't want to do it in my background. So we have to do all of these things, and we also have to remember that, listen, everything in this world, when it comes to black people, is dictated by black women. If you want all of these things that plague us in our communities and this world to stop, you have got to understand, and I'm going to say this a million times, that together, united, and in solidarity is the only way you do that. That is the reason why over in Korea, even though what's going on in America is not a real 4B movement, that's why they call it West 4B, right? Is because those women over there in South Korea, they understand that those women have to stick together. Even if they don't know each other, they understand they're on the same page in the book. No men whatsoever. None. No dating, no marrying, no sex, no having children. They understand that to a T. And they also understand that they have to be politically engaged. They're doing that so much to the extent that right now, in their countries, all of those governments are begging them to have children and trying to do everything they can to get them to have kids, offering them money for housing, offering them money, increase in salary, offering them money to be pregnant and get paid to be pregnant. They're doing all these things, right? And let me tell you something. In some cases it's working, but for the majority of the cases it's not. And the way that this is happening in the world, and I'm so proud of the women that actually get it, all over the world because it's making such a global impact that here in New York City, I read in the newspaper just yesterday. Well, not physical newspaper, but you know how on your phone I was watching the Google News and the Yahoo News. In New York State, they didn't just say New York City, they said New York State. They had a picture, and you know what I'm getting ready to say. They had a picture of a pregnant black woman. And they were talking about how there's new legislation being passed to pay black women to have children. This is going along the lines of, remember we talked about before, the universal income? So they're listening to our YouTube videos. This is what I told y'all they're listening to all the time. So when you're really on this movement of making sure we double down on people acknowledging all over America black femicide, that is the number one problem for black women, followed secondly by domestic violence, and thirdly by sexual assault of our own person and of our children. We need those things to be addressed. Followed fourthly by our housing crisis, being the most evicted and the most to have the hardest time to rent a new apartment, and as poor or poorer women than women who are in the upper class, so to speak, or upper middle class where they could buy homes by themselves, we're having the hardest time buying houses or townhomes or anything affordable, any type of affordable homes or housing for ourselves, for our children to pass down to create generational wealth. So these are the things we need to be talking about as a people. And this goes back to, once again, why I have a major problem with this West 4B movement. One, I explained to the Woman Supreme, even though she cut me down when I told her, I asked her the question, why is it so hard for black women to have a movement that's just for black women? And instead of her giving me a real answer, all she did was try to bypass what I was saying or give me a low-class answer to just dismiss me so that she could go on to talking what she was talking about, which is usually nothing if y'all ever listen to those lives, right? And she said to me, her answer was, because when she tried that, the black women didn't want it. And so I have said to her, that is true. There are a lot of black women that don't want unity and they don't respect or understand the true power of sisterhood, but there are many black women out here that do. So do it for them and don't worry about the other women, right? She ignored me and then went on to talking about all of this nonsense with LGBT people, black women that want to always fight and stop a black women's movement. Clearly, black women, seriously, y'all should not have time for this shit. Y'all should just get it by now and just go on and do what the hell you gotta do.
I hear you, girl. I should have brought my chair out.
You know what I mean? Like, you need to just go ahead, right? And stop letting these people get in your way, okay? We know the black community, as far as black women and little girls go, is in shambles. And we can make a change, though. We can make the change if we teach our daughters that there's nothing in this life more important than their own bodies and themselves and the quality of their minds. And when we teach them to love themselves and feel good about themselves, that's why I said I don't want to hear nobody in my sphere telling me anything about black women shaking their asses and twerking or wearing hair and lashes and dressing however they want to dress to make themselves feel good, because it's not done to any other woman. So you're not going to do it to women around me, not on my watch, because I'm going to insult the shit out of you, right? And that's why I didn't want to hear that shit that Miss Archduchess was talking that day when she was trying to make it appear as if the way a black woman dresses is, once again, blaming a black woman, is the reason why she is targeted for black femicide by these mentally conquered black males. Now, if this woman has any type of hair she's wearing or however she wears her makeup or her clothes, that does not have a goddamn thing to do with somebody who is dead set in their mind to hurt her because they already hate her. Now, what we need to do is get black women dead set to understand that you need to stay away from all black males at all costs. Don't make any exceptions to the rule. And stop listening to people like Bourbon Bougie, who's a fucking grifter, and others like her, because you're wasting a lot of time with people reconditioning you back into the black love movement. When you listen to people like that, and you're going along with all of this squabbling, fighting, and separation between women based on ages. Like I tried to explain to the Supreme Girl too that your movement is having problems because, one, you got all these other women in there. Two, you're not effectively trying to unite black women to handle and deal with situations that solely concern us. And it concerns us on all ages and all demographics. So you shouldn't have a movement where all you have is 20-something-year-olds who read a bunch of books on philosophy thinking that they know everything in the world, and just because of the subjects they master, they want to have debates on those things and those things alone to seem overly intelligent. We don't have time for all this silly shit, and still bickering and arguing with men and fighting with other women. And then when the older women come in to try to say, look, focus on what it is you're supposed to be doing and leave the silly shit to the side, they get offended. Now we are unrelatable. We don't know what anybody's talking about because, we literally probably were born old. They don't think that we've ever been 20-something, 30-something, or whatever else it is. And it's just the ignorance of all of that, which is why so many people say youth is wasted on the young, because they really do fuck up their lives. And instead of them understanding that it's so easy to get your life in check by just checking all the boxes of doing all of the right things. And even if you fuck up along the way, as long as you're checking off those boxes as you go, you're going to be fine in life. How the hell you think we made it? Because the majority of us in our 50s, getting ready to go into our 60s, we mostly have good lives. And we have things that we have accomplished, things we own, things we do, all that, because life was not easy for us either. But we knew that as much as we want to be young and dumb, we have to be serious about our future, because we're going to be older way longer than we are 20-something. 20-something is only 10 years of life. And then old age kicks in at 30, and it keeps going from there. And I don't mean old age to the point where you're decrepit, a relic, and you can't function. But I mean the fact that every step you take from now on is bringing you closer to your grave. That's what I mean by that. And it's like, there's no age where you should feel like you're worthless, and other people, other younger black women make you feel that way or try to shame you into believing that that's the issue, because that's what's going on. And when a person like me is trying to explain that and show that that's part of the problem, there's too much pushback from people who have unnecessary psychological traumas from childhood and wanting to do what black males and everybody else in society is doing, blame their mother for everything. And never once do they take in consideration that person's feelings, that person's traumas, or that person's life experiences, whatever they may have been. And it's really a recipe for disaster. And like I said, I'm going to keep saying it till it sinks in. Like, the only thing we got to do as black women is come together as one unit. When a black woman is saying, myself as an example, black femicide is an issue, we all need to come together, rally, and make that the most important thing on the face of this earth. You all need to be behind me. Because when you do that, when black women understand that black femicide is the most important thing in the world to us, they get out of dysfunctional relationships. They stay away from getting involved with men who will end up putting them on the black femicide list. They stay away from men that will traumatize and target their young girls. They keep their children and their little girls especially safe from being trafficked, right? They keep their little girls safe from being locally prostituted. They keep their young girls safe from being impregnated by some lecherous, useless, hopeless, helpless 30-something, 20-something, 40, 50-year-old something man before she's even out of high school. If you get what I mean, if you understand the extenuating factors that expand outside of the one thought, when you understand that this is the most important thing, you start knocking down all the things and the levels underneath it, beside it, around it, above it, underneath it, that lead you to that one destination of being killed by one of these dudes that hate you to begin with. You will understand that self-protection and self-preservation is number one. And you stay away from these dudes regardless of the slick talk, whatever gifts they promise you that are not really going to come, or whatever gifts they do give you that you don't need. And you understand that by leveling up yourself mentally first, and then physically, and then any other way, as long as you stay focused on you and you stay away from them, you're going to be fine. And you also realize that when black women put out the call for causes for other black women, so that the world can see we come as a united front for everything that affects us and affects us alone, they won't continue to allow the things that happen to us now. Like the reason black hate speech for women is so prevalent on all these social media outlets is because black women don't come collectively together and say, we're not having this. Write letters, scream at YouTube, and say, we're going to stop. You're going to stop allowing these people to make these videos about us like this. They don't do that. But they come together 50,000 deep to get some black woman who's a fucking grifter, bourbon bougie, who's married to a black male and defies everything that goes against black women collectivity for progression, fight against black femicide, fight against domestic violence, fight against our black girls going through a proper rites of passage to the point where they understand that they are the so-called prize and number one and the stars, the main players of their own life, right? Those people undermine that. But yet black women, what did they do? Collectively come together for a black woman that they can't seem to understand is just here to exploit them. And who's so concerned with white women on Reddit, it is unbelievable. And I don't understand why y'all don't see that that's a problem. Your identification and how you identify in this world is very, very important. It dictates everything else you do in this life. And I say that, I mean, when you assimilate, that means that you love whiteness. You want to be just like white people. You do everything to get close to whiteness, which is bourbon bougie, right? And then when you're a person like me, you acculturate into this life. Like, I love my blackness. I love other black women, even if they hate me with all intensity, even if they harm me. Oh, I'm going to harm that ass back. But also, I still love them because I understand that it's the ignorance and the not knowing and being taught certain things that are detrimental not only to themselves, but to me as well, right? I understand all of that. So, those things, right, with how you feel and what you do, makes the determination of how you live in life, right? And it's important because we have a big election coming up. We have abortion to conquer and get back. We have to fight against the entire 2025 project.org to fight. We have to fight against America trying to make women, and especially black women, slaves. Not able to divorce husbands when you don't want to be with them anymore. Not able to have 100% freedom over your own body. That should really hit you where everything lives, because men could do it. So why shouldn't women be able to do it? And that's the thing that we're really not understanding. And it's not penetrating the way that it should. You know? And these are the things that I just want black women to really understand. It's not about hating each other, but we do have to put each other back on point when we're falling off. And when I'm telling you that certain women out here are really not for your best interest, and they're only on here for notoriety and whatever they could get out of the moment. That is really what the fuck it is. Like, when I think about this Bourbon Bougie chick, she literally fixed her fucking mouth to say, when she was on Supreme's West 4B, right? And you got to be careful of all these people that always hook up together and they got these massive numbers and shit on their channel, because they're all playing the game together to exploit black women. But she said out of her mouth, Bourbon Bougie, that it was a punch to her gut that she lost her check. And I said, black women are not even astute enough or paying attention enough to understand what this woman just literally said. She just really said that being on YouTube is not important unless she can get money from y'all. She's not on here like me or other women that don't come on here to exploit your pocket, but really want black women to have more and do better in life. She's on here so y'all can make sure she lives a better life. Yep. As well as all the other women that talk about paywalls and all this and all that, because honestly, for me, YouTube is really a way to try to contribute something to black women that I can't do in my everyday life. Like, I don't have access to masses and masses of black women the way I could have on YouTube if I was more understood and black women were on a different trajectory in life where they actually wanted more for themselves and every other black woman, instead of being on this separatist and individualist mind and mentality where they didn't give a goddamn about nobody else but themselves. They'd understand that we get more working together the way our foremothers did. So it's just a matter of you can't make people care about themselves or other people like them if they don't want to. But for the ones who do get it, if those people prosper and those people level up to the point where the haters or the ones that hate being black and hate other black women see that it's actually beneficial to become or be part of the sisterhood, you'd be better off for it. They would be better off for it. And it really is like that in real life, because when I think about all the black women I've ever met in my life that were like me, cared about other black women's health and welfare, wanted to help them any way they could, I was told about all types of programs I never knew existed. I got help buying my first house. I got help buying my first car. I got help to learn how to build my money. Everything that I could think of that made life like special and great for me, it was some black woman older than me or at the same age as me giving me the tools to get that shit done. I'm telling you, like, even right now, these glasses just don't want to stay up, y'all. So it's like, even right now, I am trying to plan for more of my retirement. I'm not going to retire until I absolutely have to, right? And that's just me personally, because I like money, right? So I'm talking to this woman right now, trying to help me maximize my money I have invested. And the things I'm learning from this woman is incredible. And believe me, no one told me these things, because they were trying to keep me in the dark. And this is what I'm trying to explain to y'all, is the power of sisterhood, the power of unity and solidarity. She's turning me on to things that I never knew were out there. Tax loopholes, companies that have dividends that are higher than most dividends. She's just helping me in a massive amount of ways and teaching me things that I didn't know. And so this is what I'm talking about, black women. And once you get past the worrying about being in a relationship with a dude, especially a black dude, or worrying about how white people think about you, or the things white people do in society to shame black women because we're the only women that don't have real men to claim in our race. Once you let all that shit go and you realize that life is so fucking beautiful and it's here for you and you alone, to do whatever it is you want to do in life, you're going to be better for it. And as soon as you X out and eliminate those black males from your life, yeah, you're going to, oh my God, you will not believe how beautiful life gets. I am fucking telling you. Like, I got rid of black males in 2019, right? That was the last relationship I had with a black male. It was a Jamaican man. Let me tell you something. After that, every other man that I had was not black, and my life got more plentiful. And I learned more things about life to make my life easier. The same thing can happen to you, even if you incorporate other men or you don't. Even if you just stay to yourself, you don't, like a lot of women I know now are very celibate, but they still are very active in the social life and they're hanging out, because I'm definitely hanging out with them and we're definitely doing things, right? We're making plans because it's getting warmer and it's going to be beautiful out here, and we're beautiful and we damn sure need to be out here, right? So we're coming together. We're learning more things about life. We're exploring life. Like I told you about my girlfriend, who her and I are getting ready to go to London for. This is my gift to her, as to help her with her grieving of the passing of her mom this year, right? So a couple of the other women that we know, they want to come too. And so we're not only going to make this a trip of enjoyment, but a trip to go out to see what we can do to expand our money. So this is all the stuff I'm talking about. And these are things that are open to you as well, even if you are not right now in those spaces with those women. What you do, black women, is you get online and you go to places like meetup.com or Eventbrite or etc. And you go find all these organizations of powerful black women moving and doing, and you just go get involved. Go get involved. Even as small as something like, I belong to Brown Girl Brunch, right? I found that on Reddit. Everything with the black women, I exclusively and solely, I find these things and I join. And I you know me, I fly all over the place, all over America, and I go for the day or for the weekend or whatever, and I brunch with women, I network, I do all of that to find different ways that black women can help each other. And I've been telling them about the Black Femicide March I plan. I don't have a date yet, because believe me when I tell y'all, they are making it incredible for me to put this goddamn march together, but I will not give up. Do you hear me? After I speak to you guys today, I have time management mapped out literally hour by hour, right? So after I get through with studying, which is after the 2 loads of laundry I gotta do, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be on that application again and submitting it one more damn time. This is the 3rd time, y'all. I'm not giving up though. And if I have to, I've already decided that I'm gonna write to the mayor, call his office, and try to get an appointment to see him to get some assistance with this. Because I understand why they're giving me a hard time. It's an election year. They want to sway the black women towards being in relationships with men, being family orientated, having children, and trying to make the black women feel like their life is not important, but worshiping some male is, because they need black women and all other women, but especially black women, to continue to increase the population so that the rich people get richer as the black women get poorer and are more exposed to being beat to death in their homes and their children sexually assaulted in their beds at night by these more than capricious garbage black males that we all know to be true. Like, it's starting to get warm now. Earlier today, when I was walking Buddha and Naya, I had on like sweats and a t-shirt, and you know, because it's really, really warm. It's a little bit more breezy now, so I got the jacket on. And the first thing that all these dudes are doing when the black women are walking around showing a little skin is everybody staring at ass and titties. And fucking is the first thing foremost and only on their mind. And this is what these dudes, this is the constitution of these dudes. This is all they think about. They don't care about building, helping black women, or making life better for black women and children. All they care about is trying to find a way to tear you down and to celebrate and to pleasure themselves. And black women, You gotta get away from that shit. You got to. You just gotta understand that black women, in order for us to get to the point where we have a different world to live in, where we are concerned as women, you gotta separate from these black dudes that are here today for at least 10, 20 years to get rid of all of them. Let them all die out so that whichever ones are present, they could actually appreciate black women and become, most importantly, better males to become men. Because the representation and the influence and the socialization of these black dudes that are here today, they're not worth trash. And they tear everything down in their wake. And seriously, it's as simple as that. Once you get that down, and you doing everything for self, and you worrying about other black women like you, and doing everything with each other, we gonna come up out of poverty like a motherfucker. Because it'll be more black women coming together to put down applications for either renting or owning townhomes by themselves, so that them and the children that they have live in nice places, get out of the disgusting communities they live in currently, and they just do better for themselves. And believe me, I practice what I preach, because right now I'm trying to buy another situation where me and my sister-in-law, who's getting older, her mom is getting older, her son is autistic, right? This is my brother's son that married the Korean woman. So he deserted my sister-in-law and their son because he was afflicted, right? So she doesn't live far from me now. But I have been telling her, I said, listen, she's been complaining to me about the fact that her mother's getting older and she's not going to be able to financially help her as much as she's helping now. So that's what I told her. All right, so then it's time for you to really consider coming and being with me, because I will be able to help you. As I'm much younger than your mom, I'll be able to help you, and I have it so you and me and him can be way comfortable, and you don't have to worry about things getting too completely out of hand as he's getting older, because she also has to contemplate and plan for him as an adult, because he's still going to get old, even though he's autistic, and he's still going to need state care. He's still going to need people to come to the house to care for him until he passes away. So these are all the things that she has to think about and plan for, which is why sisterhood is most important. Sisterhood is so necessary. It's not funny. It's so important. And I just want us black women to really get to the point where we understand that. Stop including all the other women, because all they're going to do is hijack every movement you make. And I just want y'all to be here for black women, love each other, stop hating on each other, competing with each other, because we're all beautiful and we all have everything to offer to this world. And you just gotta get into that sisterhood. You gotta start caring for one another so that we can protect each other and look out for each other. And that's about it, y'all. I'm gonna put in for that March permit again. Put the application through again. Hopefully I'll get a good response this time, and as soon as I do, I'm gonna let you know. All right. Okay. I'll see you. Y'all be well. Because I got people now coming up behind me, and I don't like that. But anyway, be well, okay? Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. I hope where you are is just as beautiful as where I am. I ain't even got no shoes on. Look, y'all. My portable battery charger fell on the floor when I was showing y'all my fuzzy socks. Yeah. But anyway, that's it, black women. I just really want more for us, and not to be out here thinking that our lives are only going to be fulfilled and validated when you got some dirty motherfucker grunting and groaning on you, or laying up in the house with you, and that's really not what it is. I know for me, not being around them is the best thing I could ever done for myself. I have no headaches when I wake up. I have no issues when I go to bed. It's lovely. It really is. And I want the same for you. I really do. I want the same for you. And I also want y'all to back me on this Black Femicide rally, because that's important for Black women. America needs to see us come together for something that affects us and only us. We have come together way too many times to support shootings by police for those other things and every type of killing for them, but we have never once in the history of our existence in this country come together for something only for us. It's about time we do. And I mean massively. Not no little handful of people like what happened when I went out to Washington, D.C. when Rosa did the last Black Femicide March. And you know that's fucking disgusting that ever since Rosa did that last march, there has never been another march since. It's fucking disgusting. And you know what else is fucking disgusting? Is the fact that even though I'm the most hated, and y'all swear to God I don't like Black women, and I'm not for you, and young women feel like they hate me because I'm old and you know they're better than me and all this bullshit. I'm the only one that's really out here really trying to do shit that means anything outside of YouTube. I mean, really, like, I'm really gonna fucking do this march, even if it's me alone. And it's like, y'all don't respect any of that. All y'all want to do is hear people come on YouTube and talk shit on a mic. Them motherfuckers have no intentions of putting in no real work for Black women. They don't give a fuck. But for some reason, y'all can't see that. You refuse to see that shit. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. I've come to say everything that I wanted to say. Black women, it's nice out here. The weather's about to change. Please do yourself a favor, right? Start going on to Google Flights. Set the flight trackers, mostly for August, because August, some of the flights are way cheaper because it's the end of summer. Don't put the flights in the beginning, like June and July, because they're going to charge you incredible amounts. But set your flight tracker for late August, early September, even into October for cheaper rates. To fly all over this country, even all through this world, to places you've wanted to go to, and then get your ass up and go, and stop worrying about a West 4B movement online and do it in real life. Make your mind up and say, I'm gonna be blackmail free for the rest of my fucking life, and I don't need Supreme, Stephanie, or anybody else to tell me that I need to do that. Just how you guys say, move in silence. Get your ass up and do it that way. You don't need a whole bunch of people cheering you on. Just get up and go. This day forward, I don't let no more males, Black males, have access to my body, my household, my children, my space, my sanctity, nothing. They get nothing from me. They barely get a fucking good morning. And then go on out in this world and see how beautiful your life will become. You know, that's all I can tell you. I'll see you in the travels, because I will be uploading all my travel videos. I didn't upload the recent one when I went to Missouri to see my son at the base, because he's getting ready to be deployed again. So he's leaving in June. So I'm going to go out there one more time to see him before he's gone. And then I'll find out where he's going to be after that. But live life and enjoy it. And please get up off of YouTube, go outside, breathe air, clear up all the chaos, confusion, and misery that surrounds you personally every day. Get rid of the black males, get rid of the drugs, get rid of the drinking, get rid of the people that's bringing you down, talking to you critically. Get rid of them. Pick up self-help books. Go to real therapists that do not blame your mother for everything. The first time somebody starts talking about your mama, blaming her for everything in the therapy off, get the fuck up and leave, because that's not a good therapist. Because a good therapist does not put blame on people. They explain the actions and behaviors of why people do what they do and why things are the way they are. And I had to learn that lesson the hard way. So listen, and most expensively, take care of yourself, whatever that looks like to you. but please get rid of all that dark energy around you. Please do it. All right, I'm going to go because it's time for me to get back upstairs now. I have hit my limit of being outside. Now I got other shit to do for the rest of the day. Time management is important, black women. It really is. All right, be well. Be a voice for Black Femicide. And I'm working on that application, that third application, y'all. I'm praying every day for a date. As soon as I get one, I will let you know. Be well. God bless. Love you most.